All right, guys, Mongo here. Let's do a quick overview top to bottom of Bitcoin in the overall market. So I'm going to pull up the BLX chart here and we'll kind of get into it. This is from start to finish. As you can see, deductive reasoning from previous cycles have cycle tops planned. We are front running the Bitcoin halving. Usually there's a capitulation before and after. We're getting a pullback now, I guess, but it all depends on the ETF. So that's not my focus here. I wanted to look at money flow. We don't have a red dot yet on the weekly, surprisingly. We pulled back up enough to erase the red dot that was appearing at last night's close / open. So money flow on the weekly is still thick. It's still above the, what is this, the 40 line? No, 28. To give reference, last time we hit these numbers was the very beginning of this run-up. Also, you had a fake out here. You had not quite to the 28, but you had a fake out right before the Bitcoin halving, and then we dumped, and then money flow left, and then slowly or faded, and then came back in for the next cycle. So that's that on this one. Let's pull up the 2 week. See what money flow looks like on the 2 week, if it'll show me. Yep. Yeah, so we're just exponentially increasing. VWAP coming up. The money flow is just barely coming in. So look at this. So if you go back to the 2 week, money flow was non-existent before the halving. Same thing here. There's no money. So that's something on the charts have already shown that we've had all this price movement and the money flow hasn't even come in yet, which means we're not even close to having retail adoption and or retail FOMO. So truthfully, I don't personally think we're going to have retail FOMO until we're above 85,000, maybe even 100,000. I think the average person is not going to be like impressed and or asking questions until after we hit six figures. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But just to give you an idea, you can see this is the 2 week, the money flow, how thick it gets, and we're non-existent. We're moving up higher and there's no money flow yet. So that just tells you how powerful the ETFs are. Zoom back out to one more time frame. Here's the monthly. Money flow's never left Bitcoin since really, what is that? 2016, once it came in, once the data was collected enough to actually give you an indicator. Money flow is pretty flat, increasing, and VWAP's pretty flat. So now let's zoom in a little bit. We got to switch charts to do this. Let's go to Coinbase. It's a very simple chart. Zoom into the 3 day, and I don't really want you to look at, not really look at the price of my dirty chart here, but also look at the money flow. So money flow is super thick. We're taking a pullback. This is this little dip before we move higher again on the 3 day. So VWAP's going down. Price is still holding up well. If I delete this, you can see we're holding the point of control here at the top of this range. 2 day. 2 days still bullish, man. We got a nice recovery bounce on the 2 day. Again, sideways consolidation is what you want to see. You're about to get a trigger wave here on the daily, probably in the 12 hour. It's going to come down some more. I'd be surprised if we don't hold. I'd be surprised if we do hold the point of control. I'd probably like to see 64 again to see what happens here. Let's see. Let's do 12 hour. Money flow is coming back in again. Got like a double negative. You got a green and a red. 6 hour. Again, fighting that point of control. Just barely above it. See, what I'd like to see, you'll see on the 4 hour here, if we get a flash dip down to like 64, it's going to give us a really big bullish divergence. Also, you may get a small trigger wave here, which could push us up even higher. So near term, I still have that 71 to 73 target. Because if you can see here, you're also getting an inverted head and shoulders. And that would give us that 71 target. So I'm waiting to see what happens here. Looks pretty bullish on the 4 hour. We kind of got a nice buyback. So again, I wanted to give you a quick overview from all the time frames. My alarms are going off, so I may have to go trade something before heading home from work. But just wanted to give you guys a heads up on where Bitcoin is. Overall, very bullish. This is a nice dip to buy, DCA. Things like Solana and AVAX are running like crazy. Those are your hedges. And then obviously the meme coins within those ecosystems are the game to play. But again, don't use your whole portfolio. Use like 5%, 10% max to play with your gambling money. So it is a gamble. It can go to zero. Nothing I say is financial advice. Best of luck. You want to find me, head over to Crypto Blackwall on Twitter and the Blackguard Discord. Thanks, guys.